Hi, my name is Rebecca Harper, and I will be telling you about my community project that I chose to do. I am a registered nurse on night shift in the ICU. I just recently moved to my community, so this class has definitely helped to teach me a lot about the community in which I now call home. So my project was on a town called Cedartown in Georgia. It's located about northwest Georgia. It's a small town, and the public health need that I identified was infection prevention. The specific need area that I chose was a local elementary school, and I chose to go over the importance of hand washing with my students. Like I said, Cedartown is very small. It accounts for about 9.1 square miles. The population is 10,278 as of the last census that was done. The density of the population accounts for about 1,125 people per square mile. Throughout my windshield survey, I was able to learn a lot about my community as to there's multiple parks where families can go and have fun. There's tennis courts and basketball courts available. There's also different entertainment venues like a movie theater and an axe throwing facility, which I haven't got to do yet, but it sounds like a great time. There's also different boutiques to shop at as well if you want to go get clothing that you can't find at just like any store like Target or Kohl's. There's also grocery stores available as well as different fast food restaurants, chain restaurants, mom and pop shops. Throughout the community data assessment, I was able to see like the population categorized by race. As you can see in that table, majority of the population is white, but there's also members of the community that are black, that are any other races, as well as people that have a multiple of races. The median age for men in the community is 32.6 years old. And for women, it's 33.7. The median poverty rate is 38.96%, and the median household income is $54,898. All of this information was found on the Cedartown, Georgia profile website, as well as the Cedartown, Georgia Population 2022 site. Throughout my community assessment, I thought it was important to see how many of my community members are covered by insurance, since we are doing our projects on a health need. 76% of residents have health insurance, and I have it broken down into which types. 36.5% have employee plans, 20.7% are covered by Medicaid, 9.96% are covered by Medicare, and 7.7% are covered by non-group programs, while 1.51% are covered by military insurances that may include CHAMP VA or TRICARE. There are many healthcare facilities in Cedartown, so you don't have to go to a neighboring town if you are sick or if you need to see a doctor. There are two different primary care physician offices. There are Floyd and Harbin. They both are also associated with their main offices, which are located in Rome, Georgia, which are about 20 minutes from Cedartown in the neighboring county. There's also a level 4 trauma center hospital available in Cedartown. And this is through the Floyd organization, which has just now changed over to Atrium Health Floyd. It is a 25-bed hospital that allows for level 4 traumas, as well as having an inpatient rehab facility, infusion centers, imaging, and a lab. So for my project, I chose to partner up with a local elementary school, Cherokee Elementary. The teacher that I partnered with is Miss Hannah Jones, and the principal is Mr. Rowell. I was able to get in contact with Miss Jones and ask if she would be able to get approval for a project, which ultimately Mr. Rowell did approve for me to be able to come and speak to the children about hand washing techniques. The resources I used was a glow drum activity, a poster board, as well as information from the local health department site. And I found that to be very helpful because they also will do presentations at schools based on health needs. The glow drum activity was definitely probably the favorite of the students because they were entertained, and the fact that it was like almost a game to see who could wash off the most germs off of their hands. The poster board I did with bright colors to keep their attention, but I also kept it simple because with first graders, if it had so many words on the poster board, then they would lose their attention. I made sure that I researched and knew how to keep the attention of students of that age. I was also able to leave that poster board with Miss Jones, and she's going to have it right by the sink at the school. So my community health diagnosis was risk for infection among first grade students in Cedartown, Georgia, related to knowledge deficit on hand hygiene techniques as evidenced by an increase in illness in schools. So one reason children get sick during school is because they may not know the necessity of hand washing. They also may not know how to properly wash their hands. And I found this on a 5 reasons school-age children frequently get sick website. So for my health plan, how I developed it, I was able to identify the health need in the community. Infection prevention is honestly a health need in every community, but in different age groups, it can be intervened with different ways. I was able to establish partnerships within the community with the elementary school between Miss Jones and Mr. Rowell. I did research on how to keep the attention of first graders, as well as I created visual aids that would keep their attention to help get my point across. I was able to create goals that I could use as motivation for my presentation, as well as to see how my presentation did compared to what I could do better next time. I then presented to the class and had a great time and was able to teach these kids the importance of hand washing, as well as when they should be washing their hands. By the end of my health plan, I'm able to evaluate the goals that I have. I do have one long-term goal that I hope to be able to keep in touch with Miss Jones to see how well it has hopefully improved. Interventions I chose was to educate the specific group of students on the hand washing, as well as doing the hand washing activity, because I knew to get them involved, it would keep their attention, and they saw it as a game, and they all wanted to be the one who washed their hands the best. I also did follow-up questions after my presentation with the students to see how they retain the information that was given to them. So I had 2 short-term goals and 1 long-term goal. My first goal was 90% of the students will be able to verbalize the importance of good hand washing techniques. This goal was met because when I did the questions afterwards, every single student answered at least one of the questions correctly. Goal number 2 was that 95% of the students will be able to demonstrate proper technique. This was also met because 95% of the students, when I checked their hands afterwards, had no germs on their hands, which shows me that they used the proper technique. And I even taught them for the 20 seconds they could sing happy birthday twice if they wanted to. And goal number 3 is my long-term goal. So in 3 months from my presentation, I hope that 75% of the students will still be practicing good hand hygiene techniques and that illness in schools will decrease by at least 10%. My evaluation methods for these were surveying the teachers to see how they thought the students were doing and what they felt needed to be maybe mentioned more. I also asked the follow-up questions in the presentation to see how much of the information during the presentation the students retained. And then I hope to be able to follow up with Miss Jones in about 3 months to see how they're doing on washing hands, as well as if she's noticed any trends with illnesses in schools going down. So Cedartown has a lot to offer, even with it being a small town. But like any community, infection prevention is important, especially when we've just went through 2 years of having a pandemic. So hand hygiene is the number one intervention for infection prevention, and I am excited that I was able to teach some students about it and hopefully be able to build on it as we go. Here are a list of my references for my pictures and all the information that I have. I hope y'all enjoyed this presentation, and good luck on future education.